It's a little odd. I got cameras on me and I got
So
a Zoom.
NFL Films is doing this for the opening of the Sunday night or the Thursday night game, and then that's New Orleans Saints. All you have to do is focus on this.
All right.
Don't get me in the shot, guys.
Outside chance I'll ask.
Recording in progress.
All right. Do I have everybody here?
Yep, got us.
Sweet. All right. Go ahead. Fire away.
Hey, DA, the efficiency has jumped in a couple of areas these last couple of weeks. Red zone offense and also pass rush and getting to the quarterback sacks. What jumps out about those two categories that you can just kind of put your finger on?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think we've done a really good job of executing down there in the red area. I think guys have been a lot more precise in exactly what we're doing. I think we've run the ball better down there in the red area. And then, we've taken advantage of some opportunities in the passing game. So, and look, be quite honest with you, we've even increased more our emphasis on that area. And so kind of get what you emphasize. And I think the extra amount of practice that we've spent on the red zone has been good for us. And, look, in terms of the pressure, I think, I think Zach Bond being involved in some of our, sub-package rush stuff, I think he's helped out a lot. I know, look, specifically last week, Tano working inside, he did a really nice job rushing inside. So there's just, and we've changed some things up. We've gone and had a little bit of, we got some 4-man rush, we got some 3-man rush, just changing up the looks in terms of what we're giving them. And I think that's all been beneficial.
Hey, DA, for the red zone, why don't teams practice more than once a week on it normally? Like, is it just that's the way it was and everyone did it, or what's kind of behind that?
Yeah, look, I think it's differing philosophies, across the league. When I was with John Fox in Denver, we did do a little bit of red zone on Thursdays. And then the main day for red zone was on Friday. All the years here with Sean, we did red zone on Friday. We didn't work on it on Thursday. So, I just think it's different philosophies. Obviously, it was an area that we felt like, man, we got to figure this out. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over again, expect a different result. And so it was something that we had done defensively a couple of years back when we felt like we needed to improve in that area. And so we really kind of incorporated it with, amongst the whole team. And I really think both sides of the ball have benefited from it.
Hey, Dennis, with the practice window eligible to open for Marshawn and Michael Thomas this week, kind of where are both of them at with their rehab?
Yeah, look, they're both in the rehab process. Exactly where they're at, I can't tell you exactly where they're at. I don't expect the practice window to open, and so we'll just keep going through the rehab process and see how it goes, and hopefully, if either one of them's at a position where we feel like they can begin to practice, then we'll open up that window.
Coach, your predecessor was not a big fan of Thursday night games, and now on a short week, you have to fly thousands of miles to play a game. Your thoughts on that, and do you think it puts you at a very distinct competitive disadvantage to be in that situation?
Well, look, I mean, it doesn't really matter what I think. Obviously, our job is to go out and play the game, and yeah, it's tough. It's challenging when you have to go, on the road for a Thursday night game, particularly when you have to, travel across the country. This is the first year they've had teams that have had 2 Thursday night games in a season. We happen to be one of those teams, and so, look, it is what it is. We gotta figure out a way to get ourselves prepared and get ourselves healthy and healed up and ready to go for Thursday night. Because regardless of what we think or how we feel, we're going to kick that ball off on Thursday night, and we got to be ready to play.
Will you tweak your schedule at all this week to try to, I don't know if acclimate's the right word, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever you can to make it more tolerable.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime you play a Thursday night game, we're going to tweak the schedule, significantly. You're trying to cram basically, 4 or 5 days of work into just a couple of days. So, but the practices will be, walkthrough oriented practices this week. It's all about really the recovery, getting guys' bodies back, trying to hopefully get them, freshened up and ready to play for Thursday night.
Dennis,
If I
what's
could,
the
one more follow-up.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible to play your best game in this kind of scenario, Coach?
Well, look, yeah. I mean, I think that's what we need to do. So that's what our focus is going to be. And then we'll go out and play the game on Thursday. And we all of us expect to be able to execute at a high level.
Sorry about that, Ed. Dennis, along those
Excuse
lines,
me.
what is the challenge in just preparing for the Rams specifically on a short week and what they do well?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think defensively they're very active. They've got, obviously Aaron Donald up front is a game changer in terms of, what he can do both in the run game and the passing game. So he's a significant problem that we have to deal with. Witherspoon, I think, has been playing at a high level, this year, out on the edge. So I think they do some good things defensively. They play really hard. They play really aggressive. And then, offensively, I think, Sean McVay does as good a job offensively as any coach in our league in terms of just being able to package plays together. They're not real exotic in terms of the formations that they use. They use a lot of the same formations, same motions, and get to a lot of different plays out of those looks. And I think they understand, how teams are trying to defend them. They understand in the run game where the force players are and how they have to try to, manipulate their offense to get players in the spots that they want them to be in. And then I think they do a really good job of executing, particularly in the play action passing game.
Given the postseason is still in the conversation, Dennis, what does it say about this team, the way you guys have battled in the last 2 games, specifically last night, about quieting the noise this late in the season and still having an opportunity?
Yeah, look, I mean, our focus all along has really been kind of stick to our process. We know that we haven't always played as well as I think we're capable of playing, but our guys keep coming to work every day. We're working extremely hard. And we're trying to address issues and fix issues. And I think we've addressed a few and corrected a few over the last couple of weeks. But like I said last night, look, you're only as good as your last performance. And so we put the last 2 weeks behind us, and our focus is totally on the Rams right now.
Dennis, on Marshawn and Mike, I mean, is there optimism that they would be, one or both of them would be eligible to play again this regular season?
I mean, honestly, I wish I could give you a better answer. I really don't know. I'm hopeful, but I really don't know the answer to that right now.
Darren Rizzi got a lot of attention yesterday for his rivalry with Tommy DeVito, his old high school rivalry, and his gestures was what was your reaction to that and Rizzi enjoying that moment so much?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I know they went to rival high schools. I'm not sure. I know did something happen in the game I'm unaware of.
Oh, well, just a lot of cameras caught him doing the DeVito celebration gesture. I think he was even given a game ball by one of the TV shows today for enjoying that much.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen. I'm just glad that our guys went out and performed at a high level yesterday. And look, when you're having success and guys are playing hard and making plays, a lot of guys are having fun.
Yeah, DA, I think Cam has said a few times now he's a rundowns player. I think that was something that was spurred by the injury initially. As he's getting healthier, do you foresee that continuing in terms of kind of that split with him?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think it kind of depends on where Cam is from a health standpoint and what he's capable of doing. He's been good on the rundowns for us. He's still a little bit limited as to where he is from a health standpoint. So I think we just keep working to see, if he continues to get better and where he's at from a health standpoint and play him accordingly.
Dennis, your locker room speech, you pointed out that you challenged Jawan Johnson specifically, and that he stepped up to it. What was sort of the nature of your challenge to him?
Look, I mean, I think Jawan's a talented player, I think the challenge is that with opportunity, and you take advantage of opportunity, then you get more opportunity, and so. I thought there was a couple of plays in the game where he took advantage of his opportunity. So I thought that was really good to see how he responded.
Did you get any feedback from the league on whether that Alontae Taylor call was missed?
I did not. I didn't ask.
What do you think, Coach?
I think I'm getting ready for the Rams.
Dennis, with you guys holding walkthroughs, how might that affect statuses of like Chris Olave and Ramczyk just not being able to
I mean, in terms of how it affects their status, I don't think it affects their status at all. We'll see what they're able to do, and then we'll kind of go from there.
DA, any update you're able to share on Lonnie Johnson Jr.'s situation? Or with the injury that he had?
Yeah, Lonnie, had a knee injury, and it's gonna take a little bit of time for him to get back. Now, what's a little bit of time? I can't tell you that exactly.
Sure. Was there something that y'all scouted in the Giants defense that sort of led to maybe during that first drive not using Alvin, instead of going with Jamal early on?
No, look, I mean, I just think, as the game plan unfolded, there were some, look, each week there's a certain amount of plays that, you kind of have earmarked for Alvin, and then you got some plays that you have earmarked for Jamal. I don't think that was anything that was, overly like, oh, well, we're gonna start this way and do this. There was a couple of run plays I think that we liked, early. There was a couple of things in terms of protection that we liked early, and so some of those plays went to Jamal. But I think, when it's all said and done, Alvin's going to get plenty of his opportunities, and we need to continue to give him some opportunities.
And how have you liked what you've seen from Jamal here recently?
Look, I think as he's gotten more and more healthy, I think he's playing better each and every week. Typically, I think probably one of the things he's probably done the best, although he got beat, the other day, but one of the things he's done the best is his pass protection's been outstanding. So, he's a big physical back that can get the tough yards for us, and I think he's a nice complement to Alvin.
Dennis, since you were uncertain on Lonnie's timetable, does that rule out like something you would know was significant, like an ACL or anything like that?
No, it's nothing like that. I mean, it's probably going to be a week to week basis, but it's not anything that's I'd say real long term, I guess is the best way to say it.
Coach, I know your quarterback's been in the league a long time, but when he has a 3-touchdown day like he did yesterday, for even a veteran player can come into a new scenario, can that give him a little extra jolt, you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think obviously for all of us that when you have success, it breeds a little bit of confidence. And so, Derek's been in the league, a long time, and he's played well in this league, played well the other day. I'm sure he gained some confidence off of that exposure, and particularly, with a couple of weapons not available to him and played the way that he did, I thought that was good. That was good for him. That was good for us as a team. And hopefully we can continue to build on that as we go forward.
Dennis, after reviewing the tape, how effective was Demario Davis in stopping the run? And was this maybe one of his better games this season?
Yeah, look, I thought he played exceptionally well. I think, we kind of challenged some of the, veteran, older players this week to, step up and be at their best when their best is required. And I think a lot of those guys kind of took that as a personal challenge. And I thought you saw some of our veteran players really step up and play at an exceptionally high level. I think Demario obviously was one of those guys. The first part of that game, I thought he was all over the place, and I thought he played really well in the game.
So do you need to see something like that yesterday, not just from him, but like just from your team in general after kind of preaching it for weeks, like just kind of that return to form maybe?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think kind of being able to get off to a pretty good start. I mean, obviously, they get the field goal on the first drive. We had the penalty on the punt, but defensively, our guys got off the field, on the first drive, 3 and out, and then we forced them to have to kick a 56-yard field goal. So you got to give them credit for being able to execute the long field goal. And then I thought from that point on, our guys, got after it pretty good. So it was good to, kind of play from a lead. And I thought our guys, you talk about rushing the passer. I think that's one area that, allows you to rush the passer a little bit better is when you're playing from a lead and you kind of know what's coming.
Dennis, Kyron Williams had, I think, 400-yard games his last 5. What do you see out of him as a runner and within the team in particular?
Well, I think they're blocking it really well up front. Their receivers are some of the best blockers in our league. They block extremely hard on the perimeter. They do a great job. They know who to target. They get on their targets. And I think, really both their runners are kind of, downhill, one-cut runners. They're tough runners. They run physical. They get down in behind their pads. They're able to push the pile. I think schematically, offensively, they do a good job of putting their guys in good positions, and I think their guys take pride in blocking in the run game, and they've been exceptionally well at it.
Challenging the older guys. I guess that kind of goes to the red gas cans we saw around the locker room last week. But how was that message sort of received by those guys?
Well, look, I didn't ask the question, but I think the answer was on the field on Sunday, and I think that's generally, what you're looking for. I'm not really, asking for a verbal response. I want to see how you respond in terms of your play, and I thought those guys really stepped up this week.
Dennis, with someone like Chris Olave, who said yesterday, I guess he's day to day. Does the short week and kind of longer flight make a possible game time decision any tougher to figure out? Like, I guess, would you have to decide if you want that player on a long flight on a short week?
Yeah. Well, we're probably a little early in the week to kind of try to think about that. Other than, look, I think we just got to see where he's at tomorrow. I thought he had a good day in his rehab today. I expect him to be able to participate in some form or fashion. Again, it's just walkthrough, so I would expect for him to be able to participate tomorrow in some form or fashion.
DA, just to clarify for some online chatter, there were some questions about, is Ronald Curry, Pete Carmichael, how are they operating on the sideline? Have there been any adjustments to the offensive play calling at all over the past few weeks? Or are you kind of doing the same thing you've been doing?
It's been the same operation that we've had all season long.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Anything else, guys? All right, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis.